I'm Matt with etrailer. Today we're going to be talking about the Thule Roof Rack on our 2023 Ford Maverick. Now, in my opinion, this is going to be one of the easiest roof racks to work with, so let's take a closer look at it. Now, what I really like about a roof rack in general is it saves you a lot of space and allows you to carry extra long items. So with the Maverick, we have a shorter bed, so if you have anything longer like lumber or anything like a kayak, it's not ideal for them to sit back there. Your roof is going to be in much better space. Now, of course, you could have a trailer on the back of this, so you can carry those extra long items, but that's going to expand the footprint of your vehicle by a lot, so it'll be hard to go into those really tight spots. So you get best of the both worlds with this type of setup. Now, with the Thule Roof Rack compared to other ones out there, is for me, I think it looks better than a lot of the ones, and it's just really easy to work with when you are initially setting it up and when you are putting on your accessories. So we can take a closer look at that now. So up top, we're going to have our crossbar. Now, I will say I don't have the weather stripping in it at the moment, since we just did this for demonstration purposes, but that weather strip keeps out a lot of debris from your T-channel. And that's something that really stands out to me about this one in particular. Now, a lot of aero-style crossbars do have a T-channel up top, but to get to it, you got to take off the end cap, and sometimes that can be a little bit of a hassle. I just flip this over to the side, slide my gear in there, and it's really easy to work with. The other thing that stands out to me is how these towers work. So it is going to have a little lock cord here, so you can change that out if you want to have it matched up with any of your Thule locking accessories, so you only have to carry one key. But when I remove this, it's a fairly simple setup, just one bolt that tightens everything into place. Pretty smart setup. And then one of the big things to watch out for is how it sits on your roof. So if I open up my door, you'll notice this is going to grab onto the inner wall of your door, and we're going to have this rubber pad that grabs onto your roof. Now, this is doing a really good job today. We don't have any gaps. If I had to compare it to another one that sits just as well as this one, I'd probably compare it to the Rhino-Rack roof rack, because that one is also a fairly seamless setup on top of our roof. But for me, I personally like this style a little bit more just for the shapes of it. So now let's get a couple measurements to see how it's sitting up here. The first one I'm going to get is going to be the overhang. So that's going to be about 2 inches. That's going to be plenty for most stuff we want to work with. So if you have anything like a ski carrier, that'll fit perfectly here. If you have anything like a kayak carrier, that's not a lot of room to work with. If you're looking for something like that, I'd recommend checking out the Yakima roof rack, because it's going to have one continuous channel underneath here. And that allows you to upgrade to really any size crossbar to put on your roof. So if you need maybe like an extra 6 inches or even 12 inches on the side, I'd go with that. Now for the overall distance underneath the crossbar, that's going to be a little bit under 3 inches. So I think that's going to be good enough for most people. Now, if you have a sunroof that expands up, keep a closer eye on that if you have any thicker clamps. And for the overall height, this is going to your vehicle, that's going to be about 4 inches. So compared to some other options out there, this is going to be a little bit more low profile, which will give you a better look. Now, when it comes to how much you can put on here, it is going to have a pretty hefty weight capacity, but what I recommend doing is just checking what your roof is rated for and then go from the lowest rated component so you don't damage anything. Now, in my opinion, again, this is probably going to be one of my top choices, especially for the Maverick. It looks really nice up here, easy to work with, and it's going to be a little bit more low profile than some other options out there. But if you need something that is a little bit wider for your crossbar width, then I would recommend going with the Yakima roof rack. And as for the installation, it's pretty quick and easy, but we do talk about a couple tips to help you out, so we can show you that now. So let's start off the installation. We'll lay everything out. You'll notice I'm missing a few parts though, and that's because I already have one side installed. It's going to be the same process though. So what we're going to do is lay our crossbar. We're going to have 2 towers per crossbar, 2 clamps, and 2 bases. And we're also going to have this tool to tighten everything into place. And we're going to have a couple other pieces that come with your kit, like some end caps and these measuring bars here. And of course, there's going to be that weather stripping. I'm not going to show you how to put that on today, since it is just going to seat into place. Now, the way we're going to start off is by coming over to the crossbar and flipping that around. I want to grab that measuring bar and I'm going to put it underneath and slide it into place with that tab close to the end of it. That'll probably do for right now. We'll do that on the other side. Then grab the tower. The way this works is, you notice how this raises up. The way you do that is by squeezing on the back of it, just like so, and that lifts it, allowing us to put it on the bar just like that. Throw your end cap on, repeat on the other side. So now we're going to reference our instructions, and it's going to tell us we're going to have a X measurement for your crossbars. That's going to be a number that correlates to it, and that number is going to be on that measuring bar right here. So if you need to adjust this, we'll move our tower out of the way. You need to push it out or in, lining up the bars on here and that number to where this needs to sit. Once that's there, then you'll just shift your tower over some, line it up just like that, and then we can grab our bases. So these bases are just going to match the contour of the bottom of your tower, and they just kind of push into place. And we're going to do the same process on either side. All right, so from here, we can grab our crossbar and put it on top of our roof. We just kind of roughly place it up there for the moment. And then, with it up there, we're going to reference our instructions. They're going to give you a measurement that's going to go from the front or the top of the windshield to the front of the crossbar. So just make sure you get that measurement on either side. Once you do, there's going to be another measurement, and that's going to go from the front of one crossbar to the front of another one, and make sure that measurement matches what you have in your instructions. This is what we're looking for. We want this to be pretty much seamless, and then we're just going to open up our door. With that open, we're going to tape our clamp, lift up on the crossbar, and you're going to push this underneath, and you're going to have to put a little bit of pressure behind it. It should click eventually. Now mine didn't there, so I might have to readjust it. But if you pull down on it, and it's not coming out, just know it's properly seated in there. So I'm just going to do that on the other side. Now if you find that you don't have enough space for this to grab underneath here, what you can do is just loosen up this bolt that's inside of that hole, and that should allow this to drop some. So now that I've done that on both sides, come back over here, and we can start tightening it down with our included tool. The way I recommend doing this is tighten it down enough where it's making contact. Once you have a little bit of resistance, then repeat this on the other side. You just go back and forth until this is fully tightened down then, because this is going to give us more of an even fit. And then you just continually tighten it down until you hear that click. Once you hear that click, you can grab your end cap, throw it on here, and then give it a good old shake test. Make sure it's not going anywhere. And if it feels good, then you can repeat that for the other crossbar. Now, if you guys have any other questions, let us know here at eTrailer. And again, I'm Matt, and thanks for watching.